understand being there for your man and being your teammate, but I don't know. Maybe they heard. Maybe this goes deeper than the whole CP3 and Blake, thing. Maybe it's about, people heard stuff about Blake, or maybe they heard stuff about Austin, or, they done had some type of interaction, because that right there, when you're going to see someone at somebody's locker room, it is one or two things. Either somebody said something very disrespectful that night, or there has been something that happened in the past and it's just been boiling. And now that CP3 is there and you got another person that got a problem with this, with this same individual, then it's like, okay, you know what? We're going to handle this. But it was bananas. They said the LAPD, they called the LAPD to intervene. Okay. Let's just be honest, this wasn't no Crips versus Bloods fight. These are some NBA players, but I think there was enough people there where they could have just broke it up. I know it's a lot of tall people in the building and all that stuff, but I don't think the police was needed. I don't think it got to that. I hope it didn't, but it's just like that is way beyond what we were talking about, where you trying to see folks. And then, of course, the last one. We just got this one. This one was yesterday, if I will. The Magic versus the Timberwolves. Aaron Aflalo. He's out there getting in fight with a brother. And I am going to destroy his name, but I'm going to try and say it anyway. Nemanja Jalisa for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And, they were pushing. And Aaron just said, you know what? I'm about to swing on this fool. And he drew back and he came with the swing. He totally whiffed on it, but then they get locked up and all this stuff. And I'm watching this and I'm just like, what is going on? But as I'm watching this, I'm just thinking like two things. One, it reminded me of when Shaq was fighting he was trying to fight Brad Miller. And he took that swipe at Brad Miller, and Brad moved just in enough time. Because if Shaq had hit him, he probably would have killed him, or he probably would have ended his career. And two, it was the post-game interview that they did with Belicia. And I want y'all to hear what he said, because as I was going through, listen through it, it had me thinking about some things. So I want y'all to hear this interview if you haven't heard it. And this is Minnesota Timberwolves player Nemanja Bjelica. I hope I'm saying that right. And his post-game interview.
Quickly, between you guys, how did that happen? The first incident.
First of all, I want to apologize to my teammates and coaching staff because I got ejected, but I don't know what can I say. Like, we were hitting each other during the game in offense, defense. That was everything part of the game. And it took I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to feel like I'm a victim here. That's everything part of the game. But he took a swing on me. And I was just trying, to protect myself, first of all, and to help him, to calm him down, because he was wild. I don't know what's wrong with that guy, but, and at that point, if you attack me like that, I just have to protect myself or my family, and, everybody who knows me, they know I'm, calm guy, and, I don't do but I don't how those things works. I was raised on the street, but I'm professional basketball player. I will never fight during the game. But one more time, I don't want to feel like I'm a victim here. But I just try to protect myself, and I'm very happy. Thank God that I react that way. Just trying to calm him down, because I know what will happen if I try to do something else. So that's it.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is all I needed to know. That was a moment of it could have been that moment where you've seen those videos out there where, and Miss Mocabella, shouts out to Mocabella, she's saying, what is he saying? I'm going to tell you what he's saying. in just a second. But that's one of the moments you've seen out there where somebody do something and the whole screen go black and white, and then and you hear a voice that say, and at that moment, he knew he's just, you know what. And that's what I got from a few things on here. And thank you, Sin, for saying it in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. The first thing I know is he said, I was raised in the streets. So basically, what he's getting at that point is that, yo, I could have mollywopped this dude if I really wanted to. And it actually, there's evidence on it. Because when Aaron Aflalo threw that punch and he missed, he immediately put Aaron into a headlock, like a submission, MMA, like, yo, I could go ahead and put this dude to sleep right now. And that's with one hand. He could have went to the jab. He could have gave him some, some straight body blows, or if he wanted to, and then he didn't. He put the other hand up to everyone else, like, look, I'm just trying. I'm not doing anything. And then also in the interview, Mocha, he said, I was just trying to calm him down. Okay, y'all tell me, anybody, that somebody swing on them and then they'll say, I was just trying to calm them down. That person can fight. That person done F somebody up before. That person has probably got some registered hands in another country with this dude. And then not the last thing, but the next to the last thing, he said, I was just trying to protect myself for my family. So translation was, I ain't trying to go to jail again. That's what I took from that, And then the last thing he said at the end was that basically, because he said, I don't fight on the court. So that means I fight in the streets, basically, but he basically saying, yo, if that had been me, and everybody know this, I'm about to clap their hands. Yo, B, if that had been me 5 years ago, it would have ended a lot different for Buddy. So I'm just saying, Aaron Aflalo, man, I think he got lucky with that fight. Sin just said it. He could have choke slammed him. He could have did anything. He could have suplexed him. He could have did whatever. But when someone says I was raised on the streets, you leave that person alone. You leave that person alone because he said it so calm. He wasn't pumped up. He wasn't in there talking about I'm a G and all this stuff and beating on his chest. And Sin is kicking him out in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. Sin said, I did you a favor by not kicking your butt. Yes, I think he did. Because if it would have been a whole different situation, we would not be talking about anything else right now. We would be talking about how Aaron Aflalo got put to sleep. I think he did him a favor. I'm just saying, I've seen a couple fights in my day. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not been in any real fights in my day at all. But I have seen some real fights. And I know the behavior. And I know the trigger points. And I know the character. And someone that look, man, I done knocked out a couple few fools, a few fools. And, I'm tired of knocking people out. And that's how this brother was talking. I'm tired of mollywopping people. And I'm getting a check now. I'm getting a check. I can't be out there doing that now. I'm getting a check. He said it. I'm a professional basketball player now. Mo Cheese was talking about Kyle Lowry. He said, did you see how Lowry put a little pep in his step? Like, let's do it. Mo Cheese, that's what I was saying earlier, man. Being pointed to the back. And then Kyle, let's go. He probably had his shorts off, like I said, before he got to the back. Probably took his tennis shoes off. Because I'm telling you, Ben Mighty came around that corner and Kyle was already in some house slippers or something like that. Telling you, man, some of these guys don't pick the fight with the wrong person. That's all I'm saying, But Hey, it is what it is, man. I think it almost ended badly for Aaron Aflalo. So, Chief Rocker saying, he said, damn, Jelani, where did you grow up? In the church? Never fought. Chief, let me just tell you, I knew my lane, man. I was the dude growing up in Flint. I knew the folks, and it was always somebody on one end that was beefing, and the other end, you had another person beefing. But I was the person in the middle that tried to keep the peace, or I was the person that just knew both sides. So it wasn't no point of me fighting, because I'm cool with both. That was just my life. So I'm glad I didn't have to fight, I don't need to try and find out if I'm a fighter or not, and then find out what my win-loss record is. I'm cool with that, And at this point, I ain't trying to find out now. I'm too old for that. But that's just, hey, that's just me. Y'all go on with that, hey, But like I said, I haven't seen a lot of fights, not me. Tiffany Sports and he'll say, all my life I had to fight. I know what you're talking about, Tiffany. So, and then Ms. Mokabella, sorry, everybody gonna get in on me now. Ms. Mokabella talking about Jelani was the dude with the glasses on in school. Yes, Mokabella, I got glasses on now. Yeah, so I was the one in school. But guess what? If anybody was stupid enough to try and step to me, it was handled before they even got to me. Yeah. Goons. I got goons, Boca. Goons. No, I ain't got no goons. I'm just playing. I'm the peacemaker. But we're going to take another break, and then we'll come back. We'll get into some football news again. It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show. Lopan, wake your butt up. Goodness, you've been doing that all day. But we're going to come back after this commercial break, and then we'll get into some more sport topic about somebody getting talked about or getting fired. Who could that be? We'll find out when I come back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota. Join the rest of us sports zombies on 2 Live Stews Radio. That's right, the boys are back. Doug, Ryan, and the rest of us, including me, the sports gov of Minnesota, Vince Wright, also known to the ladies as the Big Smooth. Keep it tuned here, that's right, 2 Live Stews Radio.
All music artists, lend me your ear. Looking for that hot beat to make your next hit? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. Tired of paying for overpriced studio time for mediocre beats? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. farrelljaromusic.com offers industry quality hip-hop, trap, R&B, and pop beats that will take your creativity to the next level. We know it's hard to find dope beats out there, so don't waste any more time searching YouTube or whack beat-selling websites. Go to farrelljaromusic.com today to cop the beat for your next hit. Mixing and mastering services available too. Once again, go to farrelljaromusic.com. That's FARROJARRO music.com for the hottest beats in the game.
This is #1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern on a Recap Monday doing his recap show. We're going to talk about sports, entertainment. We're going to have call interviews, on the spot calls. This is just a show that will bring nothing but passion and joy and understanding to all the listeners on the 2 Live Stews radio platform. The #1 Chief Rocker, Jersey Vern.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jelani JB Bodie.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again. Yeah, it is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show.